Car Talk Show. We are so glad to have you with us, and welcome. Just ahead, author Rick Shaffer and his book, An Incredible Decade of Speed and Indy. It's a new track record. It's a great book. We just had a little conversation with him before we went on the air, and great guy. You're going to really enjoy this interview. Jeff has Car Culture. His feature this week is going to be on four-wheel steering.
Yep.
Do they even make it anymore?
Yeah.
Mars has Off the Beaten Path, karting around the Houston area. That's Karting, not carding. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us for our live version of the In Real Time Car Talk Show. All right. Jeffrey, how have you been?
Good. We're like the black shirt gang this week. I had a wardrobe malfunction. My blue shirt was interfering with the internet, so we all went black. So there you go. But good. It's been a good week.
Once you go back, you never go back. That's what I heard.
Yep. Hey, went to Space Center Houston this past week, and it was awesome. If you're in Houston or if you're coming to Houston, you need to go see it. It is incredible.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mr. Mars, you survived the rains over there?
Yes, we did. We're starting to dry out a little bit.
Well, that's going to change again here.
So is it the whole county's going dry, or just your city?
No, just this kind of two-block
Mars
area.
household. That's what it is.
We're all going dry over here.
Well, let's get to our guest, shall we? He's been sitting around doing nothing, waiting for us to start the show, and let's just get right to it. His name is Rick Shaffer, and the book is It's a New Track Record, Decade of Speed, Indy 62 to 72. What a great decade. I don't know how you came up with that, but talk about a decade of speed. Let's talk about a decade of change. You go from front engine to rear engine, and my God, everything really changed in that decade, Rick.
Well, actually, there's a story behind how I came up with this idea. It isn't my idea. When my first book came out in 1999 on the first 20 years of the IndyCar series, and after I came out, a photographer friend of mine named Steve Stott, he said, "Hey, if you think you want to do another book, I got a great idea for you." And I said, "Well, what's that?" And he said, "Well, think of the years 62 to 72 and all the interesting cars, drivers, and teams that came through during that era." And I thought, that's a great idea. Well, unfortunately, Steve passed away in 2009, but I thought if I get this book written and get it published, I'm going to dedicate it to Steve. That's exactly what I've done.
Well, you know what? The first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to that decade, Andy Granatelli, the STP team. Remember that?
Yeah. He was actually in 62, he brought the Novi back for the first time since the 50s. And they didn't make the race that year, but that's where he started out with Novi's, and then he brings, he had the first successful Terman cars, and of course that Dayglow orange color they painted their cars. That was, they stood out. It was just, he was an incredible showman, and it was neat that he was a major part of this era. So,
well, I'll never forget the team colors. Those white kind of jumpsuit things with STP stickers all over them.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody had the STP stickers on your toolbox and on your notebooks and binders everywhere.
They look like
this was a wearable.
They look like gas station attendants.
No, they based them on, actually, that was the kind of short sleeve coverall that the European teams were wearing, but they just put their logo all over it. Andy himself, he had a regular suit made with entirely covered.
Yeah, sure did.
So, So we understand how you got to write the book, but this isn't your first book, from what I understand.
Right, this is my fourth book on racing. So I after the kart book, I got to co-author the autocourse history of the 500 with Donald Davidson, and then my most recent book was. I always thought it'd be neat to do a book just with nothing but nondescript stories that weren't widely known, because so many of the 500 books have the same stories over and over again, same photos. So then I had an outfit called Coastal 181 published 500 on the Indy 500, and then of course this new book is from these people from England, wonderful people named Evro Publishing Limited, and it was my first effort with them, so I've been very happy. They put out a beautiful product. I'd had some of their books before. I have a racing book collection of about 500 copies. So.
Wow.
500 copies. So in other words, we'll all get one. And
well, there's been 500 different titles actually. So.
Oh, I see.
500 different books. Yeah,
I got that's my library. That's my research center. So.
Well, hey, we're always looking for a freebie. Hey, you're a media guy. You know about that.
Oh yeah.
As a matter of fact, a little bit of background on Rick. He used to work for a very well-known newspaper there in Indianapolis, and he was also part of an Indy team. Tell us about that, Rick.
Well, when I decided it was time to leave my newspaper career, I had a chance to be the public relations director for a team called Bettenhausen Motorsports, and this was run by Tony Bettenhausen. He was the youngest son of the same name driver who was, such a standout in the late 40s and 50s. And I worked 6 years with him, and 4 of the years my driver was the next Formula One driver named Stefan Johansson, who's now gone to be the manager of people like Scott Dixon and Felix Rosenquist. And we had a year with a French-Canadian driver named Patrick Carpentier. And then my last year with the team, we had this wonderful Brazilian rookie named Castro Neves. And I always ask people, have you heard of this guy?
Yep.
But we formed a nice friendship from that. And when my previous book, he actually did the foreword. So naturally, when I did this next book, I had to get another full-time lawyer. So I was very blessed to have A.J. Foyt do that. And I told his publicist, I said, he's the only driver still living that was in all those races that I cover in that book. So that kind of put the deal over the top, I think.
Well, I'll tell you, I had the opportunity to actually have lunch with him one time several years ago. And, once you take off the anger and the competitive thing that he's got going on, the aura around him,
that's his
he's
business.
really a nice guy.
Yeah, the thing about Mr. Foyt is how you approach him. And I, being a rather shy person, I decided the best way was to go through the publicist, and that seems to always work. Anytime I've dealt with him, he's just been, extremely, cordial and accommodating. And actually, I'll tell you a little story. I used to write for a now defunct magazine called Vintage Motorsport, and I was doing a story on the 64 500. And so naturally I had to talk to him because he won the race. And we were at the Houston IndyCar race. And so he was finishing up breakfast. So I go on to his coach and I said, sure, you're finished? Yeah, come on back. And he said, do I know you? And I said, well, yeah, AJ, I used to work for the Star with Robin Miller. And he goes, well, hell, we've been friends for 30 years and haven't we? That just broke the ice. Had a wonderful interview with him. So.
Well, I was quite surprised, pleasantly surprised. Really a nice guy, and I thoroughly enjoyed the interview. So let's talk to you about your book. So 62 to 72, 10 years at the Indy 500, and what really surprised you that you would point out to anybody that reads your book? Hey, be sure and check this section out.
Well, actually, overall, if you look at 1962. There were still skeptics that thought it was impossible to go at 150 mile an hour until Parnelli Jones goes out and breaks the track record. And 2 years later, Bobby Marshman had a practice lap at 160, so they jumped 10 miles over what was supposedly impossible. By the end of my era, 72, they're nudging the 200 mile an hour mark. And I mean, it's just the thing was, it was just in those 11 races, you had the track record broken 9 times. So Tom Carney, of course, the track announcer, got to utter that famous "It's a new track record." And, it was just really quite an era for technology. You went from all front engine to rear engine cars by 1969. By 1970, every engine was turbocharged, and there were no limits. They were getting more than 1,000 horsepower, by the early 70s. And then the aerodynamics came into play. And, of course, with that, we also had slick tires for the first time. So, things like that. Just that's what really made this so special. It was just the different things that happened and the people, came and went.
So it makes me think of the question, what do you think of today's cars and today's technology? I mean, 240 miles an hour? Seriously? Somebody's going to get killed.
Well, interestingly, they've gotten safer as they've gotten faster. I know it doesn't sound like that'd be right, but, they've come up with a lot of ways. Probably the main thing that helped them safety-wise was when they went to the ground effects, they put the fuel tank behind the driver. So suddenly fire is no longer an issue that had once been. You see a fire in a car, it's usually the oil reserve tanks ignited. And, the materials, the carbon fiber is much better than the aluminum or than the honeycomb aluminum they use for the tubs. The helmets are better, the fire suits are better. And of course, the Speedway was the first to use this, what they call a safer barrier, which is a really, you wouldn't think that it's cushioning effects. So when they're hitting the wall, it's not like they're hitting solid concrete, not no give anyway. So, um, but they've had, knock on wood, since 1982, they've had 3 fatalities of IndyCar drivers at the Speedway. So we're going on like a 23-year. The last guy that was killed was in a test. A promising rookie named Tony Renna had finished 7th the previous May. This was the fall of 2003, and they haven't had a fatality for an IndyCar driver since at Indianapolis anyway. And this track, there total like 43 drivers lost their lives there over the years. So,
Who was the grumpiest driver that you ever interviewed?
oh boy, that's a good question. I think I was pretty lucky. I didn't really run into a lot of the question is when you talk to this person. I mean, my first autograph was Al Unser when he was a rookie, and I was a little 12-year-old kid, and he talked to my brother and I like we were important. And when I went to the Star and ready to do my first Al Unser feature, I was warned, and now listen, he doesn't see you as a fan like he did when you were a kid. So he didn't like reporters. I think he got burned by a couple of people. So it was not the fun interview I thought it was going to be. But really, I've been really lucky that I haven't had any set twos with drivers. I think I've tried to be careful about when to approach them, and in the case of AJ Foyt, your best served going. Some of them are better when you go through the publicist and said,
Yes.
shoving a microphone in their face and a notebook bothering. So.
Right. Well, I find it fascinating. Tell me about the changes at the Speedway now that the boss has taken over that Speedway, and there have been quite a few changes.
Yeah, we're still in the early part of this. He was really kind of hampered because when he bought the track, then COVID came along. So I'm not really sure all the things he's going to do. Now, I'm 73 years old, and I last 5 years I've gone to the race not as a journalist but as a fan again. And my brother and I, we sit on the top row, what they call the Vista stands in turn 4. So that's 44 rows up. And this year they put handrails in the aisles, and boy, for us that was a wonderful little thing. You would think would be a big deal. It's a big deal to your average fan, but Roger Penske, of course, he's noted for his immaculate-looking cars and crew guides and transporters. So, the Speedway wasn't really decrepit when he bought it, but, you can just see he's really making extra strides to make it even more professional-looking facility. And I'm biased. I think it's the greatest racing track in the world. So.
I've been there a couple of times, and I have to tell you that thoroughly impressed. And I've been to a lot of racetracks around, but there's something extra special about Indy. And, it's a great, big, huge, long track. And if you're going to go pick a seat, well, good luck, because you're not going to see the entire track like so many are today, and that's the way that they're built. But when this thing was built, they didn't have all of the infield stuff going on like they do today to block the view.
Well, actually, they had a lot more trees in the building, you'd think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the other thing was the grandstands were just single level, so it wasn't until after the war they put the double level grandstands on the front straightaway, and then of course the Vista stand I referred to, they're in all the turns now. They're a lot higher than the other ones ever had been. So, my top row is 44, and then some of them have an overhang with 2 more rows of seats.
Yeah, and they got a golf course.
So the track had to grow around the track, if you will, because the track, the race surface, is pretty much like it was, other than being fixed up and maintained. But it sounds like the track itself grew around that.
What happened actually was when they were planning the track, they wanted to build a 5-mile long circle, and so the property they bought after they hired the engineer after they bought the property, and they get him together and they show him a map that's got the property, and it was 328 acres of farmland, so it was flat, and they told him this is what they want. Well, the problem was the configuration of the property was a mile long going north to south, half-mile wide east to west. So it's like, do the math. Can you put a 5-mile circle inside a half-mile rectangle? Of course you can. So this engineer seized the moment because he could see these guys are ready to sell this property and start looking elsewhere. And he laid out a 3-mile rectangle. That's the thing. It's not an oval. It's a rectangle with 90-degree rounded corners. And it was a 3 mile track that took up all the room. But then he realized he had not left any room for grandstands. And he said, "You did say you're going to have races, right?" And they said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, I need to shorten the track by a half a mile because we need to put the grandstands on the outside of what would be the front straightaway. And that half mile will give me enough room to do that." And so that's why the track is shaped like it is. And of course, the grandstands, I don't think they envisioned having them almost all the way around the entire track now. Now, the golf course came around in the late 20s. And what was funny was they originally were going to build an infield road course, but Carl Fisher, the main driving force among the founders, decided, let's make this an aviation automotive facility. So for a while, you actually had a running runway that went diagonal between turns 1 and 3, and a large building inside of turn 2, which we call a hangar today. They call it Aerodrome. It's the biggest in the world at the time. So, and all that got demolished when the great aviator Eddie Rickenbacker bought the track and puts it in a golf course. So.
Well, a fascinating story. And listen, we could sit and talk to you for at least a day and picking your brain about Indy and the Indy 500 and the cars, the drivers, all of that. But the new book, it's a new track record, 1962 to 72, an incredible decade of speed at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The author, Rick Shaffer. And we certainly appreciate the time that you've spent with us today, Rick, and we wish you the best of luck. And hey, call us anytime because we can talk to you about the book all we want, but we also like a fellow journalist, and I know that you've got tons of stories to tell.
We could meet him at Indy next year.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll meet you there. You can buy us a hot dog.
Give you a tour. So.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. Rick, thanks so much again. Before you leave, I did want to mention to you, this is a tabletop book. Father's Day is coming up. And as you mentioned off the air, Rick, that go to just Google the book or Rick's name, and I'm sure that there are probably a dozen different places that you can get the book, and it would be a great one to have to give away to Dad.
Well, thank you for the kind words. And can I say one quick thing before we leave?
Please do, yes.
Okay, you were mentioning a four-wheel steering car.
Yes.
Well, Mickey Thompson brought one to the Speedway in 1967, and there's a picture of it on page 153 of the book. So.
Well, there's my segment. Thanks. Just ruined that for me. No, I'm kidding.
All right, Rick. Well, thanks again. We really appreciate you, and best of luck to you in the future, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Hey, just ahead, Jeff's Car Culture, four-wheel steering, as we just mentioned. Mars has go-kart tracks around Houston, and his driving destinations feature all that and more coming up right after this break on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla. Eats pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and searching for a fun car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture, Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, so check us out.
Join us 10 to noon Central Time every Saturday for our live show about all things automotive. We hope that you'll get a whiff of it and to tell everybody. And then we thank you for being with us today. And with that in mind, I want to say that in 2 weeks, we're going to be in Granbury for the Lone Star Street Broad Association. Actually, it is called the State Run. and there's a history behind that, and we'll talk to somebody about that in a little bit. But it's a great show, so it's actually worth a day trip up there.
I'm getting a new
Really is.
suitcase for all of my hair care products, just specifically for that.
All right, time now for Jeff's car culture. Four-wheel steering.
Yeah, we've heard of it. We've seen it somewhere demonstrated, but it was first popularized in the 80s. Four-wheel steering, or 4WS, is all-wheel steering. AWS is all-wheel steering. Relatively common, but all-wheel steering does have certain benefits and also has certain things that you really don't want to get involved in. So rear wheel steering vehicles utilize a system where rear wheels can turn in conjunction or with opposite into the front wheels, enhancing maneuverability and stability. The system allows the rear wheels to turn in either direction or in the same direction as the wheels called parallel for stability at high speeds. Why four-wheel steering, you might ask? Mike was asking this. Car manufacturers fit four-wheel steering in various reasons. High speeds, rear steering, rear wheels normal to turn in the same direction as the front wheels, whereas at low speeds they would turn in the opposite direction. These drive-by-wire systems usually have no physical linkage between the steering wheel and the rear wheels, unlike earlier mechanical systems.
That's comforting to know.
Yeah. Is it the same? Well, since all cars' front wheels are steered in the front wheel, and some are referred to as rear steering vehicles, that would be like a forklift or a rear skid turning device, but not strictly correct. It refers to a vehicle that has fixed front wheels and steered by the rear wheels only, such as a forklift truck, as just stated. Now, four-wheel steering is used most popular to handle on the best sports cars and maneuverability of some of the biggest SUVs and truck models. It's a great way to aid the handling of a large heavy-duty truck or a large heavy-duty SUV, and appears to be more nimble and agile as they would otherwise be. It's usually found in more expensive vehicles and not regarded to be worth the complexity, weight, and extra cost on your everyday small vehicles like your Hondas, your Toyotas, and things. Well, how does it work? Well, we just talked a little bit about that, but mainly the front wheel steering steers it while the rear wheels provide the motivative force in that direction. So you're saying, well, what kind of cars do we usually get them on? Well, the engine and the drivetrain do matter on this. It's reported that the different speeds and different turning radiuses, which are very limited on some of these as well. Some of the disadvantages, you're looking at the cost. Now, if you have the system, if you were to buy it on a car nowadays, you're looking at about a $5,000 option for this. If it was to go out of warranty and the brakes, you're looking anywhere between an $1,800 minimum repair per corner, or just a replacement of $3,500 per.
When the mechanic sees one coming in the door, this is what he does. He goes, how does that work?
Yeah. And of course, one of the other parts is the malfunction. If one part of it goes down, then they all go down. So it's pretty much it's a risky thing to do. Various Audis, various BMWs, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsche models. You can still get it to today. You can get a lot of them through Mercedes. Mercedes do offer it as an option when you go in there and look at those cars. And Mike just clicked on it. My favorite, which is the bonus pick. There's a rear-wheel drive vehicle right there. That was actually
a four-wheel drive vehicle.
It's rear wheel.
Four-wheel steering.
Steer, correct. So the tires on this Lunar Rover were a wire mesh composite for durability, to add to the temperatures so that they didn't sink in the sand and the moon dust and all that good stuff. But that vehicle was on Apollo 15, 16, and 17, and they're still up there. So I think, Mike, what we need to do is send you up there to bring them back on a flatbed, and we'll check them out.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Okay, good. Well, that's a great feature.
I took that at Johnson Space Center. That was a display.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a good
That
one.
last pictures. That's why I sent it to Mike late.
Let's get over to driving destinations.
Yeah, let's
Mr.
do
Mars
it.
has that. We're talking about go-karting.
Yeah, so we're going to stay along the same lines with something that's fun to drive. So if you're looking for something that goes beyond the big indoor chains, like around Houston, there's a couple of places, big multi-story buildings that take up several blocks. And so if you're looking for something that gets a little more personality, a little bit more or history, or some old school Texas vibes, then we've got a few of those that we can look at. So we're going to start with the Go-Kart Raceway. Great name off of West Mount Houston Road in Houston. But for decades, it's been kind of a quiet, but it's been one of Houston's best old school outdoor kart tracks. Survived after all the similar family entertainment centers have all disappeared. Now they've all got some sort of arcade system and everything built in with it, but it's all part of trying to make that family experience to go along with it. But now this facility includes the arcade games, laser tag, and the 1960s vibe, just an old school vibe that families can go to, particularly the younger riders, because they've got 4 different levels of carts. You got regular carts, you got 2-seaters so that you can take and ride with the kids. They've also got what they call the super carts, which you got to be 15, at least 15 years old to drive, or they've got an F1 cart that you got to be 16 with a driver's license to be able to drive. So they got a lot of variety there out there on their tracks. Then the second one would be Speedy's Fast Track up off Hempstead Road. Now, it's really been a neighborhood type entertainment center because that's what they've built and that's what they've kept. Now, it's alongside Hempstead Road, so there's a lot of attractions there with go-karts, mini golf, laser tag, and some arcade games. It's kind of a compact place, but it all something you could get to, and it's a little more personal than you find with a National Polish Change with a lot of the neon lights and flashing indoor racing type things. It's not a big track, but it's got a lot of tight turns that might think you about the old school when you were a kid and you used to go and drive on them. And because it all keeps all the racing close, it's lively and it's very competitive because it's all such like a short track. Now, it can make it for a great casual date night destination because it balances fun. You got a little bit of atmosphere. You got lots of different things you can do at Speedy's to get, because of the quirky personality that keeps people coming back year after year. This made this a really great place to go do. Now, the other one's a little more upscale is Speed Sports Racing Park. And we've talked to these guys before, and I brought them in because they are out of the way. They're up in New Caney. So they're up in southeast Texas, if you will. And they've got a lot of arcades, of course, and, you know, they do a lot of birthday parties, and they got a big venue there. But it's all into motorsports culture. The outdoor track is fast. It's very technical, and it's designed for drivers who want to improve lap times because they do have league racing here that you can get involved with. They also have driver coaching that you can get involved with. So whether you're a beginner or you get into the competitive kart racing, you can see different levels of driving on this track that everybody can participate on. And they also actually do have a racing academy that you can sign up for if you really want to get into it and get serious. Then the next one, I was surprised to find this one, MSR in Houston. We talk about MSR in Houston a lot because of the road course on it, but did not know about the karting.
Wow.
They actually have karting. Now, this is down in Angleton. They've got where they, along with all their track for their road track for their cars and stuff, it is a track that's set up for golf carts. Now, it's part of that larger complex. It's a shorter track. It's a 3/4 mile part of the track, and you got to be at least 13 years old to get on this course and get on this track because it is a little skillful. I mean, it takes some skill, and you got to be able to drive it. And because the track itself is long, it's smooth, and it's quick enough that you're going to get some speed up, and I think they can get up to like 45 miles an hour in this course. And so you've got, with the turns and stuff, you got concrete walls. It's a racetrack for cars that you're going to get into in a go-kart. So you got to be I got to have some skills. You got to pay a little bit of attention. The last one I found that I thought was really interesting. Now, this is down in Galveston. So it's still, I consider that still part of the Houston area, but it's down on Seawall Boulevard in Galveston. It's the Galveston Go-Kart and Fun Center. Now, this is beach town. We're talking resort, beach town energy. It's got a lot of charm to it because of the retro family amusement park setting it's in. Along the seawall, it's very easy to be part of that beach atmosphere. A lot of people on vacations going down here. But they've also got the outdoor kart track. And it's not really ultra competitive, but it's great for going out just to go for a ride that you want to get quick on and maybe have a little family racing setup or just something to do on vacation like a lot of towns across the country. They do have arcade games, and they've got a lot of other things like pool tables. They do have some axe throwing that Don found real popular one time. We were talking about that. Then we also have a virtual reality roller coaster that I thought was rather, I was trying to understand
Don't
that
even
concept.
talk to me about roller coasters, okay?
No.
But
We're
it's a
not gonna talk
virtual
about
one.
that.
You just
Yeah.
put on the headset and go, man.
Okay. Well, thank you
But
very
anyway.
much. Yeah, we appreciate that. Driving
stuff.
destinations, go-karting around the Houston area. Thank you, Mr. Mars. In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Stay with us.
Your car is a direct reflection of you. So don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get it protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See this state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today and online at gcautoshield.com. Gift giving should be meaningful, and we have an idea. A hand-painted custom illustration of your car from one of the nation's leading artists. Now you can get one or a car show poster customized for you, a friend, or a loved one. Bill Sites will be happy to guide you through the process. No matter what the day, birthday, anniversary, or any day, an Autographics custom illustration adds an extra touch of class to any home. Call Bill today, 832-922-0963. That's 832-922-0963.
From our Dual City studios in Texas, USA, it is the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Jim Rowlett, Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run coming up in 2 weeks, and we're going to talk to Jim about it. Jeff will have the cruise in and events calendars, and I'll bring you stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. He's somewhere around there. And we always need more Jeff Seekin. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us on this Saturday.
He may be trying to get our guest on.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then good.
Yeah.
Because I've got some interesting stories in the news category that I always wind up with stories that I haven't gotten on the air. Well, we're not going to do that anymore, he said, saying. Some of the nation's largest public and private dealership groups were among the 97 auto retailers the Federal Trade Commission in March warned of suspected illegal advertising practices. The FTC refused this spring to disclose the names of the dozens of groups and dealerships that received these letters. However, the agency reversed course and just this past week posted the documents and recipient names to the agency's public database of warning letters. The FTC says it will post information if it encounters multiple Freedom of Information Act requests for its disclosure, according to a spokesperson that told Automotive News, where we got our stories from. Recipients include at least 4 of the 6 large publicly traded franchise dealership groups: Lithia Motors, AutoNation, Group 1 Automotive, and Sonic Automotive. In some of the letters, several of the group stores were copied. Publicly traded Asbury Automotive Group and Penske did not appear to be included, nor were the 2 major publicly traded used vehicle retailers, CarMax and Carvana. Receipt of the warning letters did not necessarily mean guilt, according to the author, but he wrote in the letters that he was concerned the recipients had engaged in one of 6 advertising practices the FTC considers illegal. The letters warned dealerships it was illegal to advertise unavailable models or vehicle prices omitting anything from the actual out-the-door price except for government taxes and fees. Advertised prices need to include the dealership's mandatory fees on charges. They cannot be contingent on certain down payments, using dealer financing, or the consumer qualifying for a rebate that isn't universally available.
Wow. You mentioned Lithia. I remember when Lithia only had like 6 dealerships up in the Midwest, Colorado. They were more of a Oklahoma kind of area. And then they've expanded. This was like 25 years ago. Yep.
Yeah.
Penske wasn't mentioned because they probably follow the rules. They probably do everything, by the book. So
You know that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because that's the way Roger Penske operates.
Yep.
And this is a story that we did. Would you call and see what's going on with Mr.
Okay.
Mars? Thank you. This is a story that we had last week. Lug nut, axle, diesel, and turbo have flown the nest. They left behind worldwide fame for the Kansas Ford dealership where they hatched atop the tire of an F-250 King Ranch. The 2-week-old Robins left Olathe Ford Lincoln on May 27th. According to the dealership's social media page, employees plan to leave the nest in place for a few more days just to make sure the birds don't come back before releasing the truck to the patient buyer who's been waiting for nature to take its course. In addition to automotive news, the Robins' unusual nesting location received coverage from the New York Times, People magazine, The Guardian, numerous other media outlets, including In Real Time, with Ford helping to spread the word through a story on its media website as well. Federal law prohibits destroying an active robin's nest. Operation Wildlife, a Kansas rehabilitation center, advised dealership employees that they could relocate the nest to a similar pickup if needed, but the buyer, a construction company, agreed to wait. Well, that's good. And because the buyer was actually a company and it wasn't in desperate need of the F-250, and they said that they could wait a few weeks longer before they took delivery of the big, expensive F-250 King Ranch, where the birds found a nest on the top of the tire. Open wheel well. It was a good thing for all of them. Did we lose Mr. Mars?
Mike is working with our guests to try to get him situated to get him on the air, so he's behind the scenes working diligently with our guests.
Diligently. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of that word. Okay. Steady profits, rising sales, and record stock prices were not enough to keep General Motors CEO Mary Barra atop Fortune's most powerful women, listed for a third consecutive year. Barra slid to number 2 on the publication's 2026 list behind Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser. Jane, never mind.
So the money automatically gives her power? Is that what it is?
Well,
Most
it's steady
powerful?
profits, rising sales, and record stock price.
And her
Anyway,
bank
since
account.
taking charge of GM in 2014, Barra has never ranked lower than 5th on the Fortune list. She's been number 1 5 times, including 24 and 25.
Yeah, I know what one finger they're going to flip her when she's for number 1.
Dude,
Right.
it amazes me that the price of the cars go up, and so does her salary.
Yeah.
All the time.
Strange
Hey, look
how
what
that
we
works,
got.
huh?
Mike's
It's all
back.
tied together.
What did you say, Mike?
I say it's all tied together for some silly reason.
Yeah, money and power.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
it. Okay, do we have Jim on the line?
I believe so, sir.
All right. Well, Jim Rowlett is with the Lone Star Street Rod Association and in preparation for the state run that's coming up in 2 weeks. Jim, good morning to you, and thanks for joining us.
Jim?
Jim.
Okay, so that's working real well for us. We'll just continue on with the
Next,
stories. Biggest company in North America's retail tire and auto repair sector keeps growing. And you know, it's funny, because I thought of you when I was looking at this story. Mavis Tire Express Service Corporation. Are you familiar with them?
Yep, sure am.
Which has held the top spot in Tire Business annual retail rankings since 2022, reached at least 2,100 company employee-owned stores this year, the most of any North American tire and auto service.
They started on the East Coast many, many years ago, and like anything else, you grow and you get bigger.
Mavis, which along with its namesake stores, does business as NTB, Tire Kingdom, Town Fair, Express Oil Tire Engineers, and other brands, has more than 800 store lead over its nearest competitors, and that would be a company called Monroe, M-O-N-R-O, Incorporated, Reinald Thomas Corporation, the parent company of Discount Tire, and America's Tire, according to data collected and analyzed by Tire Business. Purchase of the Midas franchise portfolio, with its system-wide sales of nearly $2 billion, gives Millward, New York-based Mavis more than 3,500 points of sale in the U.S. and Canada. Never heard of them, but I guess if we went over to the East Coast, they'd be everywhere.
Yeah.
Kind of like Discount is here.
Right. When some of the employees of ATD left, they went over to Mavis back on the East Coast, for employment. So I know a couple of guys that went over there, and I know the retail side of it. Since I was on the distribution, on the wholesale side, we dealt with them. Dealt with them in different aspects. So, supply and demand, supply chain, all that.
Well, obviously we're not going to get Jim Rowlett on, but you know what? We have enough knowledge since we've been there
Well,
so many times.
Look behind us. See that image behind?
Yes.
I keep asking folks to send in pictures of their cars so we can get them on and talk about them. But I had a van almost identical to this. I didn't have side pipes on it like this.
Did you have shag carpet in it?
No, we didn't get that far. I had a shaggy haircut at the time, but
We're
it was
gonna
almost the
build it
same
out.
color blue. Mine was a GMC. It was a '77, and this brought back. I sent Mike a photo. I said, "I'm living my old hippie days."
Those can't be real side pipes. For
No,
that
I'm
van.
just saying if they were, that's a pretty stupid idea. But if you look at the real picture, they're kind of tucked under, so I believe they're on there. Yeah,
They're not
do
on the engine.
Well, no, they're probably like the faux.
My God,
Like a Zoomy.
The runners on them would have to be 10
I know.
miles long.
Well, it is. The engine is up in the
It's right between the driver
up
and the
between
passenger in the
seats,
front.
I know, big cup holder on it and all that. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's where all the crap was. Everything that you could possibly have in
Collection
your
point.
pocket. Yeah,
Yeah.
collection point.
Yeah.
Kind of like cup holders used to be.
Yeah.
Now you use the cup holders.
Yep. But anyways, send in your pictures of a vehicle that you drove or your current one. I'll have Mike put it up there, and we'll.
And you know what I'd like to see is I'd like to see our contributing editors, if you want to call them that, George Skelton and
Mr.
Jeff Heitzman.
Yep.
I'd like to see their cars back in the day.
Yep. In fact, I told you we went to Johnson Space Center. The whole time I was thinking of Jeff while I was there.
He's there.
I know he's there. We did the tram tour. It's an incredible facility. I can't say enough. Kathy and I had a great time.
So let's talk about Granbury and the Lone Star Street Rod
Let's do it.
Association, shall we?
I'm packing.
We're going to be up there a week from today doing our show. We're going to have a bonus hour. We're going to be on the air from 9 to noon
Is it 2
Central
weeks from today
Time.
or a week today?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from today, yeah.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
We'll be
have
done
the
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll have the patio all decked out in 2
Every
weeks.
time.
And 6 months later, they finally opened it.
Let's just real quick. We frequent a restaurant every weekend, same Mexican restaurant, and they were remodeling the front area, the approach, the parking lot area. And every time we asked when it was going to be done, because there's a hole that's 12 feet deep and it's maybe 30 feet long. 2 more weeks we'll be done every time.
Is that a government project?
2 more weeks. It was hysterical.
And it was about a month and a half.
So Lone Star Street Rod Association, back to it again, Granbury, Texas, and it is in a park up there called Hewlett Park, and it's right on the main drag in Granbury, and it's also just down the street from the lake. And the lake, as you've probably heard if you watch this or get this show every week, the lake is like 23 miles long.
23, 25,
Yeah,
something like
it's
that.
surprisingly
And,
big.
anyway, it's a beautiful setting. It's a beautiful little town, Granbury. And not only is the town great, but so is this car show. It's nothing but hot rods from all over, and not only Texas, but states beyond Texas. Everybody comes in for this. It's a big deal, and it's not so large that you can't get in the whole show during the day. You can, and yes, there's hot dogs and all that good stuff as well. But it's very easy to get to, and if you want, you can park your car and your trailer that you've brought the hot rod on at the hotel, leave it there, and the hotel's got shuttles that goes to the park. So and they make it really convenient for you. It doesn't cost anything for the shuttle, by the way. It's south of Fort Worth by about 45 minutes to an hour,
Roughly,
depending on where you're going to go. But and it's not on the main drag of any major highway. No. Yes, there's a highway that goes by, and it's easy to get to. You just got to wiggle your way up there.
Yeah.
From Houston, I think 290 would probably get you out of town, and then you would head on up to Bryan College Station and go up that way. And
make your own road trip. Make your own cruise.
Yeah, you can. We're going to leave on Friday. The actual event itself starts on Friday. We're going to leave Friday from Houston and travel up there, spend the night, and then get up at the crack of dawn or before.
Crack of Granbury.
Yeah, and we'll get all set up so we can start at 9 o'clock that morning. It's a great fun adventure and great people, and you would really enjoy it. It is different than any other cruise-in, if you want to call it that, that we deal with in the Houston area. And that's not a put-down for those cruise-ins here in the Houston area at all, but it's just different. It's a different crowd.
It's different notoriety.
And it's a different car culture as well. You're not going to have Honda 2000s with the pow 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 pow. There's none of that.
No.
You might get a great big huge V8 that rumbles in.
Well, we had that Lincoln last year, and it was huge. It was like 13 miles long, and it was pretty and pinstriped, and yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
And the other thing,
So
like you were
at any
talking
rate,
about,
again, we'll be on the air 9 to noon Central Time in 2 weeks up at Granbury for the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. This will be the 51st or 52nd State Run.
51.
But it's a great time, and we invite you to join us.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, not only that,
Spectators
but
are free.
wherever you're coming from, we like to stop at the little towns and do a little knick-knack shopping and kind of take in the depth and breadth of what Texas has to offer on the way up. So
Good point.
Yep,
Yeah,
very nice stuff.
exactly.
And we could enhance Mike's travel
Trying to.
enhance Mike's everything.
We got lots to do.
destinations.
Coming up, Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars, and I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Stay with us. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla. Eats pretty good. Join the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show as we hit the road for a live broadcast from the 51st Annual Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run at Hewlett Park in Granbury. This once-a-year rolling car collection takes place June 12th through the 14th. Check out hundreds of classic street rods, vendors, giveaways, awards, and family fun. Best of all, spectator admission is absolutely free. In-Wheel Time will be live from Granbury Saturday, June 13th, 9 to noon. Get all the deets at lssra.com. Time airs Saturdays 10 to noon on Facebook, YouTube, at InWheelTime.com. And, of course, if you miss it, you can catch 30-minute podcasts of this show from your favorite podcast store. It's free, and we thank you again for joining us today. Time now for the Cruise In and Events calendars. And, of course, 2 weeks, we got Granbury and the Lone Star Street Rod Association.
This is for next week, actually, June 6th. This is a brand new month coming up. This is the Gears and Grounds. We talk about this one quite often because it's a neat little show to go to. It's at 13150 Brenton Ridge Street in Houston. Good for Houston. Gathering promises to display a wide range of vehicles, including classics, sports cars, exotics, race cars. You name it, they'll have it.
They got Corvettes there?
Well, except Corvettes. No, they don't allow Corvettes there.
Okay, well.
Yeah, they do. And then we got the Crossroad Cruisers Car Club, Cars and Coffee. This is at Frida's Cafe in Victoria, Texas. Frida, where we know the Bobby's going to be the new mayor and ruler of Victoria, I'm sure.
He already is.
I think so. The event takes place the first Saturday of the month, 9 a.m. to 11, and it's at 8901 North Navarro Street in Victoria.
That's the main drag.
The main drag. And then you got Daniel's Meat Market, Cars and Coffee. We're just reliving all of these for June 6th. It's in Baytown near Mike. We're near both of us, actually, halfway. 6010 Thompson Road. Registration vehicles, emailing marketing manager at Daniel's Meat Market. So this is for the classic guys. Drivers will receive free coffee. Takes place every Saturday.
I have a classic Corvette.
You do. It's in the garage. It's pretty too.
25 years old.
25 years old. Remember when you were 25? You didn't look that good when you were 25.
I don't remember when I was 25.
You weren't as shiny as that.
Well,
you had some dents and dings on you.
Well, I will tell you that at that point in my life, I was living large, as they say.
Just you needed to get rubbed out. Mauriceville Cruise In. This is in Orange, Texas.
That's Orange.
Orange. It's Sunday the 7th. It goes from noon. It's at 11.
Mars knows about that.
211-261.
Mars, you ever been over there?
Is he spotted? Is he good?
He's right
To
there.
Orange?
All right. Orange.
Mauriceville.
Mauriceville, they've
Mauriceville
got a
Cruise.
drag strip up there.
Yep. Well, this is going to be actually at Leslie's place in Mauriceville. It occurs first Saturday at noon. Participants they're encouraged to bring their classic cars, hot rods, rat rods, resto rods,
And
any
Corvettes.
Any rod you got. Bring your curtain rod if you want. Wimberley Cars and Coffee is in Wimberley, Texas. Now, that's not too far from here. It's a nice little cruise-up drive. It's a great cruise. That is at, where is that? It's at 14200 Rural Road 12 in Wimberley. Starts at 8 a.m. till 11.
Rural Road 12.
Rural. Yep. Organizers invite car enthusiasts in the community to attend this.
I think that's Rural Route. But
Rural Road. Okay.
Yeah.
That's could be Railroad 12.
It's not Railroad 12.
Take a train. You'll be better. There you go.
Yeah, save some money on
And then
gas.
2 weeks we'll be at Granbury. It's going to be fun. Come on out. Mike, I think, is setting up a kissing booth out there. It's going to be great.
Not
I
with
thought
him
about
in
it. I'm waiting to find out if my wife is coming or not.
Is she not coming again?
Well, she's
Debating.
debating. Yeah.
So
Women's
you
prerogative.
have
Prerogative.
grown children. You have grown grandchildren.
Yes.
Bring them too.
What is it that she's going to stay home for this time?
Well, don't get me started.
Do we need to call her?
No, you don't need to
No,
go.
that would make it worse.
I was going to say we could stir it up over there.
If you call her, Mike's not
Yeah.
going.
Now, what she's waiting to find out really is if she's going to be the only wife going,
No.
and
No.
sometimes she gets left out if
Is
she's the
Kathy
only
going?
one.
Yeah. Kathy's going, so Kathy will be there.
Well, I just found that out, so I'm hoping that will encourage her
Yeah.
to.
Well, we
gonna
can have Kathy call.
We're going to
Go and
stop at
participate.
places. We're
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
tourist road trip thing. We always
make
do.
a
And it's
make a
blast.
weekend out of it.
You laugh, you have fun, you have a couple of adult beverages.
Well,
on the
for
way.
me, it all depends on when I leave, as whether I can stop and meet you
Yeah.
in some sort of bizarre little town that's
There's a
got
few.
one school there,
Yep.
that kind of thing.
Bizarre thing.
Yeah. Honda will halt production of the Ridgeline for 18 months because the pickup cannot meet emissions regulations.
Whoa.
Honda, the company that sold everything to everybody, the popularity of the Honda Accord back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I mean, my ex actually had a brand new Honda Accord.
Yeah,
It was a
saying.
nice little car.
Is this
They've
just
gone
in the
down
US?
the toilet.
Is this
So
just
did
for the
we. We
US?
bought one because it was a Honda and it was so good back then.
And you
Yeah,
got-
exactly. The Japanese automaker will stop building the mid-sized truck in Lincoln, Alabama in the fourth quarter.
So it's US.
It plans to assemble a heavily refreshed Ridgeline at the same plant starting in the third quarter of 2028.
So for a year and a half, they're going to quit.
Yep. Makeover is expected to include design changes, revised components, and an updated V6 engine to comply with regulations. This is according to people with knowledge of the plan and Automotive News who published it. Honda is one of 6 automakers still obligated to improve vehicle efficiency under, here it is, California rules through the 2026 model
I said
year,
US,
despite
yeah.
the Trump administration's moves to reduce environmental regulations. So now
Well,
we
but
know.
that's part of the problem. They've always had something special they had to do for California, and it's just not cost effective to say, such a small percentage. It's a big number of cars, but it's a small percentage of the country. You got to do something special for that nobody else wants.
Yeah. I wonder if Jack Nerad's going to get any in the near future.
I don't know, but here's the deal. So let's say, for instance, you live in L.A., like Jack. You've bought a new Honda 8 years ago under California emissions regulations. Now you're going to be moving to Texas. Guess what? Who wants a car of any kind with California emissions equipment on it? That's more money to keep up with. What, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that's the thing about it, because I've looked at that before. Like, what happens? You don't have to disclose that you got that car in California. You don't know it until you get the title. And really and truly, if they go through the title transfer process, you never really see. Yeah, Jack Nerad had it, and this was his home address, but you don't know for sure that that was a California emission
I'll
car.
bet you Carfax has that.
Yeah.
That
Somebody's
may be
got
true.
it.
You could do
Somebody's
some
got it.
research and probably find it.
Well, the Secretary of State of California would have it because it'd have to pass emissions to get through the Secretary of State for plates.
Yeah, but can you afford the bribes that it would take to get that information?
The bribes.
I mean,
well, there is
excuse
that.
me, the donation, campaign donations.
There you go.
No.
I don't know. I don't know as if I'd want a California car. I'm sure that there's nothing wrong with them, but I worry about what is on that emissions control vehicle for California that's different than mine that I'm going to wind up having to pay for to keep the car actually current. Because once you inherit the car, you buy the car, you're supposed to keep up with all of that stuff.
What about all the smog pumps that were disconnected and taken off in the 70s of some of the cars? Well, all the cars.
Well, if
all
they
the
did
smog
that,
control.
They can't get past the inspections now.
Yeah.
So
San
that-
Antonio just started doing the same inspections that y'all do there in Houston.
We
There's
used
a lot
to
of
do.
people upset.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you that in 1977, when I bought the Corvette, my first Corvette, one of the first things that I did was and it was still under
Took the
warranty.
belt off the smog
No,
pump.
I didn't. I took the whole pump off. I took the smog pump off because I put
Oh, you were
headers-
going for weight. You're
No,
taking the
I
weight
put
off.
the headers on it.
There you
So it just kind of blew out everything. And remember the recirculation valve went into the air cleaner?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, forget that air cleaner. That is dumb looking.
Yeah.
We got to
Yeah.
put some open element.
Nice
cleaner on it.
chrome one up there that doesn't
Yeah.
have all that nasty looking hose on it.
And
That's
then
it.
you had the heater tube from the exhaust manifold up into the intake.
Oh, yeah.
The snorkel. Yeah.
All that.
Take that off.
Take that. Get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's clogging up the good looks of the engine.
You know, look good in
compartment.
here. An LS. Drop one in. Here you
Well,
go.
I was just reading yesterday that apparently there is somewhere roaming around an actual 1969 Chevrolet DZ302 engine that's up for sale. But it's not all original parts, but it is a DZ block, which is exclusive to the Camaro Z28 back in the day that the factory said has, 305 horsepower. Liars. It had a lot more horsepower than that, and it revved up to like 7,000 RPM, and they blew up all over the place. But whatever the case may be, I looked at that and I thought, would I love to have a car with a DZ motor in it, especially a 69 Camaro.
Or a 32 Ford Coupe.
No, I wouldn't
don't-
want to do it. No, I wouldn't want to waste it on that. It'd have to be something in the 60s. Maybe you could put that DZ motor into I was going to say a Chevelle.
Yeah. Or a Nova.
Any of those, yeah.
Some
Something
Chevy
that-
2, something like that.
Yeah, Chevelle might be a little heavy, but
I
the
was
Nova
thinking
would
that too.
absolutely be good.
Yeah. Well, that's,
Whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just keep it in the family. Keep it in the Chevy family.
And the old GM.
Yeah.
Make Mary Barra happy.
No. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Bless her heart.
Next hour, I'm going to have a news story. What Chevy did for the 250th birthday of the country at the Indy 500 this year. I think that you're going to find it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what?
Interesting story.
I've-
Don't blow it.
No, I don't know your story, but I've got a story. I've got stories.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We're back after this quick break. Stay with us.
Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your car's finish without a full repaint. Searching for real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get it protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today and online at gcautoshield.com. Gift giving should be meaningful, and we have an idea. a hand-painted custom illustration of your car from one of the nation's leading artists. Now you can get one or a car show poster customized for you, a friend, or a loved one. Bill's sites will be happy to guide you through the process. No matter what the day, birthday, anniversary, or any day, an Autographics custom illustration adds an extra touch of class to any home. Call Bill today, 832-922-0963. That's 832-922-0963.
From our Dual City studios in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, third time's the charm.
Maybe.
Richard Tomlin,
Maybe.
Apex Auto Works. What did you say?
Maybe.
Did you say maybe?
Yes.
Why did you say maybe?
Because he's not here yet.
I was just telling him when we were in the commercial, I said, I don't see that Richard popped in
Yeah,
yet.
I'll be right back.
He's
All
not.
right,
Okay.
goodbye.
We're going to turn you down, Mike.
Yeah. We need to cut him off is what we need to do. Jeez. You know,
You gotta love him.
You know, and I realized that I grew up in radio and broadcasting, and the clock, we all lived by the clock, still do today. And, you know, if you've got a time that you're supposed to be on the air, it doesn't make any difference what you're doing, where you're doing it. You need to be in front of the microphone that's going to be connected to the transmitter or some way to get the signal out
Gotcha.
to the
Now,
world.
Our guests don't do that. Our guests aren't radio TV guys, so they have their own
But you know
style
what?
and their own
When-
way of doing
you know,
things.
when you put something in your phone on the calendar,
Mm-hmm.
you have the choice of it telling you, oh, you got 10 minutes before you need to
Yeah.
be here,
Well,
5
that's
minutes, or
standard,
2,
yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. So what's the deal?
You don't put it on a calendar. If it's not on the calendar, then you'll just
Then you go to timeout heaven.
then you drive Don Armstrong up a wall.
Totally. Well, at any rate, we're going to have in this segment Jeff's Motor Minute, and I'm going to review the Land Rover Range Rover.
Okay.
Did you even look inside that car? I don't think you did.
No, I didn't. I didn't do that one. No, because we didn't connect for some reason.
It was outside.
Yeah, I just didn't get in it.
Must have been raining or something.
Yeah, it was raining. It was because it was. You had guests over for your daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, anyway, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, who's out beating the bushes for
Gallivanting in Neaterville, beautiful
out there
downtown Neaterville.
yeah, trying to get Richard Tomlin rounded up.
Yeah, he's got a lot to say, and we just can't connect with him. Richard lives in a particular area that's
If you,
more of
you
a rural
listen,
area.
listen, you would never ever want to go there and try to steal something because you couldn't find out where he lives
Or get out. Yeah.
Or get out.
Yeah. Yep.
It go this way, that way, then this way, and then back this way, and then that way, and then he lives down that street. I don't.
Oh, what about going to Fireman Jack's?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Lord.
Jeff and I went to Fireman Jack's. He's got this thing that he does in January. It's the middle of winter, and that's
It's
fine.
the kickoff. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got this piece of property way off the highway, and it's one of those. And it gets to the point where they said,
Two-lane
asphalt
gravel road.
And we're not going to
Yeah.
do asphalt out here. We just give them a gravel road. Okay, what are you driving, Don? My really nice Corvette that has a really nice paint job that's been massaged by Gulf Coast Auto Shield. And no,
But you know what?
huh?
3/4 of the cars that were out there, and there were a lot, were all super duper nice cars.
They really
so
were.
They all had to take the same road
I
we
know.
did.
I'm
Yeah.
just
You just
complaining.
have to be careful and not kick up the dust. But yeah, he lives in a pretty rural area as well.
Well,
Yeah.
is that his full-time residence out there?
I think so. Well, he
It
had
is
his
now.
barn, he had all his memorabilia, he had his cars out there.
Yeah.
I would assume that he lives on.
Well, he used to
property.
be a firefighter.
Yes. Yes.
He used to fire. So
Retired.
I imagine, I know, but so he had to have a house somewhere around
Right.
the Houston area,
Yeah.
if not in it, to be able
Well,
to go back and forth. to
Jack
work.
is he probably saved his pennies and dimes, and that's his
He
good
did well.
retirement. Yeah.
Yeah. And what year is that? Nova 66,
I think
Seven.
so.
67.
67
Yeah.
Nova. It's beautiful.
Didn't he run it through Meekum or Barrett Jackson, or is that where he bought it from? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't think he's actually ran it through there to sell
we'll
did
it.
find
you
out.
did you find? Why are you back on without Mr. Disappearance?
It tagged along.
Well, good question.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, there is that.
You want me to do my Motor Minute?
No, I don't want
Okay.
you to do that.
All right.
I have something that I've been hanging on to for this very thing. Now, it is summertime, and, not everybody has two cars for one purpose, and that's yourself. People have two cars, one that they drive every day back and forth to work, and the other one that they show or,
Specialty drives,
Right.
yeah.
Well, so let's just say, for instance, that you've only got one, but you're really proud of it, and you want to spruce it up to take to a cruise in on a Saturday night. Well, most of us want to keep our vehicles looking the best when they're a full classic, a 50s icon muscle car, or more contemporary collectible. This time of year, we get those vehicles ready for another season of shows, tours, lazy afternoon cruises. Often reach for a quick spray and go, a wipe-style detailer to clean up our cars. Think of these products as some sort of panacea for cleanliness.
Ooh.
I like that word, panacea. Not every cleaner can be used for every situation, though, so a few things to consider before you stock up on spray product for the season. And let me tell you, I could spend, it's like kind of like going back to the Western Auto when you had a bicycle. And they had the huge bicycle department, and they had all the junk that you could stick on your bicycle. You sit there and you think, well, that's only $295. How long do I have to save up for that, right? Well, in this particular case, now you've grown up and you're into cars, you look at all of the creams, the polishes, the license plate frames.
Fuzzy dice, yeah.
All of that.
Air fresheners.
The car care section of the local auto parts store or Walmart, brimming with options from multiple companies today, which in turn offer similar products to achieve different results. For instance, some sprays and wipes are designed for tougher tasks, such as light-duty degreasing and bug and tar removal, whereas others are designed as protectants, often for interiors, exterior plastic trim, and soft rubber components against weather and UV rays. All of this stuff. Go and spend some time. Check it out online. Do the research online, then go up there and see what they got. So I didn't look, but I found at the Walmart Jay Leno's products. And I'll tell you what, I really like his tire shine. And it's not really called tire shine because it doesn't really shine it. It just cleans it and makes it look really, really
It
nice.
doesn't sling when you drive it.
No, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where I bought my Jay Leno's tire treatment, whatever it's called.
Nice. You go in there, and, well, speaking of Walmart, and you get the guidebook for wiper blades or oil filters. The book is never together.
No, because it's been pawed through.
Yeah, and you ask, and they don't.
So you need to check the effectiveness of the product. Right. Consider the paint type that you're dealing with. You're looking at a clear coat. Have you had any kind of a fit? Like you've been to see the Gulf Coast Auto Shield? Well, call John. Ask him what to get. He might even sell it to you.
Exactly. And when you're up in Granbury, look around and ask, hey, how did you get that shine?
Yeah. And what color is that?
And you know what? All of those people are going to have it in their trunk because they all have their little chairs set up and they all have their little signage for the vehicle, how it's made, when it was made, what it costs and everything. And they're going to have their products there. So that's what you do.
Absolutely. And you get to know the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably get out of there now a new member of about 3 or 4 different clubs.
And you don't even have a car.
The other thing is always read the directions. And I know that you're like, oh, my God, I got to read the directions. Well, yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to read the directions and not apply some of the things like, the tire dressing to the rubber around the
or
windows.
You spray your dashboard with it or something.
Exactly.
Or do your seats.
Yeah, there's that.
Yep.
Somebody keeps
I think Mike's
ringing the bell.
Mike's trying to get Richard in.
Is that what it is?
Mike popped in and out for a second.
Well, anyway, I just thought that I would bring that up.
Yeah.
I've had that story laying
good
around,
stuff.
waiting for the very moment. But yeah.
Yeah, I do think I've got Tomlin lined up now.
Okay.
It looks like it.
Well, that's what you get for thinking, Mike.
I know. That's why I'm scared to push this last button.
Without further ado, fire him up.
Yeah, let's see.
There he is.
One more button. It's working today. We tested all this.
Well, yeah, except they didn't test your watch. That was the only problem.
Well, yeah, but it's a good thing we have these things called phones because he can just hit me up because we were head down working on the race car. prepping for our last week and a half before we head off to Colorado.
Well, let's talk about that. Richard Tomlin's with us now with Apex Auto Works and in Alvin, Texas. And so, we've tried several attempts to talk to you about going to Pikes Peak. You're 2 weeks away. So which car are you taking, or cars are you taking? Let's start with that.
Okay, so we've got the Apexo set, which is the Miata that you love. That was 12th overall 2 years ago. We will leave with it in 2 weeks. The other one is the 68 Roadrunner that we affectionately call Big Bird, which is already in Colorado. And it's already puked a transmission and had some carburetor issues.
Oh boy.
Like it's racing, right? Like things are supposed to break and fail, but better before the race than during the race. So
yeah. So which one do you want to talk about? Now, the one that we have up, I don't know whether that has anything to do with it.
Is it a Miata?
Is that the
my
Miata?
Miata.
That's
an
the
open
Miata.
wheel Miata?
Yep, that's the Miata.
Well, how
So
can
it's,
you call it a Miata? It looks like a sprint car with a big wing on the back of it.
Well, kind of. So it is a
He has a
Miata
logo. He's
suspension.
got the name.
It's Miata suspension all the way around. Miata brakes, Miata wheelbase, Miata track, Miata steering rack, Miata brakes. We just got rid of everything we didn't need and tried to make it a little
Like a
lighter
body.
and sleeker.
Like for instance, the body and the engine.
Right. I mean, it's 1,803 pounds, and we make over 600 at the wheel now. So it's really
That's
good.
not a stock Miata engine.
No, that's like started kind of like what your Corvette was, but a couple generations later. So it's an LS7.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been tubbed, obviously. Look at the wheels.
Tub.
there's
There's
no- there's tubless.
It's tubless.
Tubless.
Yeah.
There's not a tub to be seen on that car.
Tubeless is the
So,
way to call it.
what have you done? Anything to the engine other than pull it out of a Corvette and put it in the car?
Oh no, it's a full custom build that we had done a few years back. So it's not stock.
Okay, now you said this came in 12th last year or 2 years ago.
So we didn't go last year. We
2
took a
years
year off because we had 3 years of good weather. So you're racing the mountain, but you're also racing Mother Nature at Pikes Peak because you only get 1 day once a year. And the theory goes after you get 2 to 3 good years of weather, you're going to get a bad year. Mother Nature is just not going to give it to you. Well, we had 3 good years of weather, and it was like, we're just not going back. We're taking a year off. So we took that year off. We upgraded the car with more aero, which you can see in the picture. It's got dual elements now. We've got belly aero underneath the car, basically what they call a floor and tunnels. We added ABS, we added traction control, and a little more power. So we're going back with expectations or hopes, high hopes, of a top 10, and we'll see. Like, it takes a lot of things falling in line.
Now,
Yeah,
all of these changes that you've made, does that put you in a different class?
No, so we're in what I call the big dog class. This class, you can do anything as long as you meet a weight to displacement.
Yeah, wait to power.
So, yep. So it's
Yeah, well,
basically
that was what I
power
was
weight.
going to ask. It came in 12th. Then you answered the question where you anticipate, finishing this year top 10.
We hope top 10.
okay.
The big challenge is you're going up against teams like, I'll throw the names out there because everybody knows it. So Ford, $11 million a year budget. Hyundai, $7 million a year budget. Some of the smaller Colorado teams are on multi-million-dollar budgets as a local team for this event. And we are built in a barn in Texas. So
And you finished.
ours is a little different, So,
Well,
there's
I mean,
that. There's that
did you not
challenge.
go after the big sponsorship money?
Oh, we've tried, and we get told no a lot. So I'm trying to take lessons from you guys on that, and see
Well,
where I can get.
We get told no a lot.
Yeah, we're
I
real
know,
good
but
at
I'm
hearing
learning.
no.
I'm learning,
Even
so,
from our wives.
yeah. But yeah, so it should be a fun car this year. It should do well. We keep our nose clean, keep everything working. Big Bird's going to have some teething pains, but the goal with it is just get it to the top, and that's the 68 Roadrunner. It has a 2015 is the motor, the NASCAR motor from 2015. It is rowdy. It is crazy. I got to drive it twice now before Ben politely destroyed a transmission, so it's gone. So we got a new transmission going in it, changing some carb issues. It's a riot.
So what kind of transmission puked, to use your word?
This is most people would know it as a Jericho, but this was a company called Mid Valley, but basically same thing. Just a 4-speed dirt track NASCAR oval trans.
But you don't have to use a clutch.
No, they're all dog boxes. Everything we've got car wise is dog box. But what's interesting is we have the dog box. We'll use it for going up, but we use the clutch going down because we're not confident enough. Because you make one wrong and the transmission's laying beside you, and we're not doing 500 miles of the exact same corner. We're going to hit 156 corners in basically 10 minutes and try and get that right every time. So it makes more sense to use the clutch on the downshift, get on the brake, then go back in gears and use your dog box going up.
Now, what kind of class is this car in?
This one is going to be in one called Time Attack, and it's just the best one that it fit into because the motor was still stock. We looked at Pike's Peak Open, which allows it to run pretty much anything. The big issue there was there are some really, really heavy hitters in that class. So goal is to just go up there and finish with this car. If it finishes, we'll be in, top 50, top 60 percentile, which is amazing. We could be higher if things go well for us. Ben gets really comfortable in the car. It has the potential. We've just not had a bunch of time driving it around track yet. So
why are you not driving this?
Because I work for Pikes Peak. I'm one of the tech inspectors, and I take care of protest at the end as well.
So you're saying that there's no real class for this one, so it's not like the Miata where it's a power to weight ratio. This is just all no holds barred on this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of classes like that at
Grip
Pikes.
it, rip it.
Yeah, they've got. I think we're running 5 classes, 6 classes now. We'd have to pull it out and see, but we found a home for it. It'll be fine. I don't expect it to be on the podium at all. So
okay, so you had mentioned that there's some big sponsorships, the Fords and the Hyundais and things. Are those multiple car teams? I mean, do they have 3, 4, 5? Or is it
Ford at $11 million is one car.
One car. Wow.
Hyundai is 3 cars. And then, I mean, you've got some of the other smaller guys that are $1 and $2 million cars. But we took the cars that had over $1 million budget, and that took 8 of the 12 cars in front of us out. So we were very, very pleased to be standing, 5th. So there's definitely people faster than us, people with more talent for sure, but we're giving it hell.
So what do you hope to get out of all of this time and effort that you've spent on these cars? I mean, once you place, let's just say, in the top 10 with that one particular car, do you get phone calls saying, hey, I want you to build me a car?
We do get those. We've built quite a few Pikes Peak cars. I think we're at 16 that have competed at Pikes Peak now that we've built. Wow. Don't have any in stock other than mine right now. But that's how it works. You just continue to grow and prosper, and then I get to have phone calls with people like you. So it's not all bad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that because we're obviously interrupting your doings, your goings on over there.
Well, this is
Richard,
all for tomorrow.
Before we run out of time, you got an event coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll be at Velocity Sim Lounge from 1 to 5, where we'll be doing a reveal of the Miata, the Apex set, because it's changing greatly. We've always tried to bring something from Houston to Pikes Peak with this, and this year we tied it in with space. So don't want to give much more than that away, but there'll be a bunch of pics on Facebook and Instagram tomorrow. If you can't make it, we'll probably live stream it, but if you make it down, swing on through Velocity Sim Lounge, just north on I-10 and 610 area.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
Richard,
we pretty much lost your audio, but we're going to put it up on our website, and everybody can go there and find out more information. Okay, Richard, thank you. It's good to talk to you. Apex Auto Works, Pikes Peak, in a couple of weeks for them. Be sure and follow them. Just ahead, Jeff's Motor Minute and a review of the new Land Rover Range Rover when the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Loopy Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Loopy Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Loopy Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Loopy Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Loopy experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Loopy beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Loopy Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Loopy Tortilla. Eats pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and searching for a fun car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture, Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, so check us out.
Always invited for our live version of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show every Saturday at our regular time, 10 to noon Central, on InWheelTime.com, YouTube, and Facebook. And then again, you can always grab a 30-minute podcast from your favorite podcast store, and it is free. Time now for the Motor Minute. Jeffrey?
Yeah, well, we just had the Indy 500 last week. We had the Coca-Cola 600 last week, and that's another story for racing. And then we also had the Formula One Canadian Grand Prix, which really no one kind of watched or found out about it because it's always online. But the Canadian Grand Prix is facing renewed pressure over wildlife safety after Alex Albon's violent collision with a groundhog. This happened in a test session Friday before the race. The incident happened during the only practice session in the sprint weekend at the Circuit Villeneuve in Montreal. The driver struck a Marmot in turn 7, causing damage to the Williams and ending his track time early. The impact was so severe that he could not practice the sprint qualifying the rest of the day.
What kind of animal was it?
It's a Marmot, groundhog. They call it a Marmot up in Canada. It's a Marmot.
A groundhog. Oh my
It turned into a promising weekend into damage control for Formula One, the Grand Prix organizers. It reopened an issue for the sport that never fully resolved it after the most famous venue. Evidently, it happens quite a bit up there. Organizers have attempted to keep the animals away from the racing surface, but the problem clearly has not disappeared. PETA made a point immediately after Friday's crash, calling for stronger deterrent measures to protect both the wildlife and the drivers. Of course, wildlife comes first. The Animals Rights Organization praised the driver for trying to avoid the groundhog before the impact happened. At the same time, it pushed for more aggressive action of the race officials to prevent incidents on the track. Drivers are expected to operate at extreme speeds and near-perfect reactions, but wildlife remains unpredictable and a hazard sitting completely outside of their control. In the driver's case, the situation became even worse because he reportedly attempted to avoid the animal hitting the impact. So he could have actually done more damage. He could have killed himself trying to avoid this little rodent. Anyways, it goes on that PETA's finding changes. They say they understand it.
It's all Mars' fault.
It's all Mars' fault. So
Mars, why are we looking at you?
Marmots,
You got anything to say on this?
groundhogs, beavers, keep them off the track. I can't hear them.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Mike.
I was reflecting back to whenever I was trying to teach my 16-year-old daughter, granddaughter, or daughter to drive, and we were going down the highway at 75 miles an hour trying to get her used to it, and she sees a turtle. And what does she do? She screams, puts her hands over her eyes. Oh, my God, I'm going to kill the turtle.
I do that a lot.
That's great.
Yeah,
and you just sat there and went, okay, here we go.
No, not exactly. But yeah, it was one of those things you remember.
PETA, people eating tasty animals, is that what that's?
I think so. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2025 Land Rover Range Rover that is built in Solihull, England.
Okay. Solihull. Okay.
So it's available in these trim levels. Don't laugh. The P400 SE, the P550E, the SE, the P530 SE, and I had the SE LWB. What does that mean?
Long wheelbase.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Long wheelbase, 7 seats. The autobiography, P615 SV.
A lot of P's in that.
I don't quite understand all of that, but whatever the case may be, a beautiful vehicle. Standard SUV, so body on frame. 7 seats, all new in 2022. They don't change these over a quick period of time. Look at that interior.
Yeah.
So exterior, straight lines and smooth body panels. Front fascia is straightforward in design with a rectangular grille. very conservative. Unique rear hatch with the rectangular highlight.
Wow.
It is stunning to look at. Concentric wheel openings. I'm sorry?
I was going to say that, an old school watch from, the 50s, the
Yes.
square, that's what that looks like.
It does.
Yeah.
What I liked about it, the fit and finish of this thing is unbelievable. There's no side sculpting in the bodywork. Think smooth and no stupid roof rack.
Wow.
Roof rack. What a dumb thing.
I know.
And why ruin all that line with a roof rack? Well, they don't have that. What could use improvement? Nothing. Interior highlights. Overall, beautiful, high-class design with top-of-the-line materials, large tablet-style center infotainment screen, horizontal dash lines with a smallish instrument screen, but who looks at that anyway, unless the red light comes on. This is luxury at its finest. Take note, Cadillac, something for Lincoln also that they should look into to mirror this. What I liked about it, classy Luxo vibe. What could use improvement? Third row is for 2 kids only. That's it. They squeeze the thing back there, and you can put the grandkids back there. Then they'll love it, squealing with delight. Screen controls can be hard to understand. It is an English vehicle, designed in England, owned by an Indian company called Tata. Tata Motors. Engine, 3-liter, turbocharged inline 6-cylinder with 395 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque, 8-speed automatic transmission. Tow rating, 7,715 pounds.
That's pretty good.
That's from that straight 6. Mileage, do we really care? But just in case you did, it gets 19 in the city, 24 in the highway for a combined of 21. I got 19.4 miles per gallon over 371 miles. What I liked, plenty of power through this straight 6. This is the same straight 6 that they use in the Jaguar lines as well. What could use improvement? The 5,240-pound curb weight is a little on the heavy side, and it kind of feels that way. Yeah, start and stop needs to go away. That is the dumbest feature ever, and especially when you're dealing with a luxury car, is it going to make you feel better because you're saving
ounces of gas?
Yeah. No, that needs to go away.
So there's no off switch? Couldn't turn it off?
I couldn't find it.
Oh, wow.
If there is one, I couldn't find it.
So was it really
Ride and
noticeable?
handling. This thing is as smooth as glass. What could use improvement? Nothing. This is not a corner carver. This is you drive this thing with respect like a sophisticated driver should. Turn your nose up, say what you will. This is one awesome SUV.
Get the Grey Poupon. Get it ready.
Okay, now you also have to get ready for the price.
Oh, yeah, I'm sitting down.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Base trim price, $117,200. Price is tested. I got to drive the $128,695 version.
Wow.
Now you can
I touch you?
You can slip into one of these at the base model price of $107,900.
Oh, what a
So when
deal.
you see one of these, you got to look at the guy that's driving it and go, I need to get to know you.
Yeah.
For whatever the reason mean. All right. So competitors, the Lexus LX 600, $107,000. Cadillac Escalade, cheapo at $91,100. And the only other thing that I could really come close to is the Mercedes-Benz Maybach GLS for $180,000.
Oh, wow. It's the other direction. Yeah.
Next week, the GMC Sierra EV truck mobile. That's what I'll review. So that was a fun ride. Thank you very much, Land Rover, Range Rover, for letting me drive it. I promise I didn't put a dent or ding in it anywhere, and I turned it in just like I found it. It was,
Exactly.
it's a good
Hey,
day.
Don,
We do. Well, yes, Mike.
on you were talking about the start and stop. I was wondering, by it being such a luxury vehicle, was it really that noticeable? Like
It
you would
was.
in a
Yes,
was?
it was. It was, unfortunately, yes.
I think any start-stop is noticeable.
Well, I think
Well,
I just
there's
thought
some-
maybe they hit it a little bit better.
No, they didn't.
If I don't turn mine off, oh, wait a minute. Next thing I got to do is I got to turn that off.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, send us an email. The address is info@nwheeltime.com. We're back after this quick break.
Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your car's finish without a full repaint. Searching for real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get it protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today and online at gcautoshield.com. Gift giving should be meaningful, and we have an idea. A hand-painted custom illustration of your car from one of the nation's leading artists. Now you can get one or a car show poster customized for you, a friend, or a loved one. Bill Sites will be happy to guide you through the process. No matter what the day, birthday, anniversary, or any day, an Autographics custom illustration adds an extra touch of class to any home. Call Bill today, 832-922-0963. That's 832-922-0963.
It's the award-winning in-wheel time car talk show. Just ahead, recalls and what the auction car sold for. It's a fun game we play. If you've not witnessed it before, I invite you to stay tuned. We always have a lot of fun doing it. Later, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars in Studio 2. Jeff Zekin, we always need more Jeff Zekin. And engineer David Ainsley.
David.
I'm Don Armstrong. Thank you very much for joining us today. Pardon my cough. But at any rate, Mr. Mars, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
When you were in school,
Oof.
I know it's a long, long time ago, and you probably don't remember, but I want you to kind of go back. in your
Specifically,
mind.
third grade, the fourth time.
Yeah, that one. Third grade, and it's the end of the day. It's 3:29. Okay, school's out at 3:30. Were you that kid that I can remember going, "Oh, teacher, I had one more thing before we go home for the day"? Were you that guy that
No,
all
I
of the
was
class
the- I
wanted,
was
yeah,
the
that
guy
all
that
of the
was-
class wanted to get up and kill?
I'm holding the door open for everybody else is what I'm doing.
Yeah. And then over there at the door going, "Oh, teacher,
wait.
I have one more question." We're just
He's picking on you, Mike. He's picking on you, buddy.
yeah. That's all.
He's speechless. We left him speechless.
And he's got his head tilted to one side,
know,
like,
and
what did
he's
I
thinking
do?
about what he's going to
No, I know what you're talking about. I'm just not going to respond in public like this.
Okay. But I noticed that you're not laughing with us.
No. Hey, we all been there.
That's it.
We used to do that in meetings. You got at the end of the meeting, you got a big luncheon, and everybody's free to go or whatever the stuff after the meeting, and then somebody always does that, and it was crazy. Anyways, fun times. Mike's still rubbing his chin.
He wants to kill me, I think. I didn't know that it would upset him that bad. Okay, so we're going to do some recalls so everybody can settle down. Incorrect front wheel hub bolts. That's
Okay.
specifically the front wheel hub bolts.
Okay, on a
Cadillac Escalade,
What?
Escalade ESV, Suburban 1500, Tahoe, Yukon XL for 25 and 26. It's being recalled for the bolts.
I don't understand. A bolt screws in, you bolt it in to something, or you put a nut on the end of it. How do you do that on a car and send it out the assembly line?
Well, I don't know either because, you would think that all of that was
inspected
Well,
QC.
the
It wouldn't
bolts-
work. How do you?
Yeah.
If it doesn't
Well,
screw
we're not
together,
talking about the nut. It'd be the bolt. So those are pressed in usually.
So you're talking about a wheel stud, the stud for the wheel.
Well,
No.
okay.
Well,
Yes,
I don't know.
That's
It doesn't-
that's what. But here in this, they're calling it an incorrect front wheel hub bolts. Those would be the bolts that are pressed into the rotor of the front brake. They're pressed in.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, what would make them incorrect? The wrong size, or if the nut screwed on it okay, you would think it would be the length that would be the
Yeah,
issue.
could be, but then you would notice that right off when you're putting it on, or maybe because they're pressed in. Is it the right psi, the right
Who knows?
pressure going?
We're giving
in?
it way
Yeah,
too much
I know.
thought, but whatever.
Well, it's just confusing, but go ahead.
Just take
I
it
don't
back.
own I don't own an Escalade, so it matters not to me.
Vehicle rollaway risk, Ford Escape 2026 and the Lincoln Corsair. Rollaway risk. Martha, did I just see the car leave the driveway and run down the hill? Yeah, over there at Mars' house, right? We're visiting Mars.
We're
and
right
all of
by
a
the
sudden-
window.
Yeah, and is somebody driving that? Wait, there's nobody there.
So
Is
the
that
Ford
your car
Escape-
going down the street?
is it
Exactly.
The Ford Escape and the what?
Corsair, the
Are
Lincoln
they built
Corsair.
on the same platform or
Oh
anything?
yeah, they go down the same assembly line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ford Bronco
Uh-oh.
for 21 and 22. Now this is a problem that they've recalled before. The hardtop may crack and detach.
Oh.
They've had problems with these tops on these Broncos. Now not the Bronco Sport, but the Bronco, the one that comes off.
Right.
And I remember the first recall was the fact that the color was fading.
In the
on
gel
it.
coat or whatever they call that.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it, but whatever. Something
I'm
was
interested to think that what parts of the country is it? Colder winter areas? Is it areas where it can delaminate, like in Arizona? I mean, they don't give that information.
The
though.
Hard top
plastic
may
get
crack.
brittle or something
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
the environment.
Sun-baked.
They've had nothing but problems with those tops. A seatbelt warning system malfunction, Land Rover, Range Rover Sport, and Range Rover Velar for 2026.
Is that the electric one? The Velar?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I'm not up to par.
Yeah, you're
on-
up to here with your electric, eh?
Yeah. Hey. Rear view camera may display distorted or blank image. Wouldn't it be funny if they put some naked woman in there
Yeah.
and all of a
Or-
sudden, huh?
Clown pictures or something.
Something, yeah.
Well, people do that. They put pictures behind it, and then when their wives or girlfriends put it in reverse, that scary picture pops up.
Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
that's-
Well, anyway, the rear view camera may display a distorted or blank image. Acura ZDX and Honda Prologue 24 and 25 model years. Airbag inflator may rupture. That's not good.
No.
Hyundai Elantra and Elantra GT 2015 to 2016. And the Hyundai Elantra Hybrid 24 to 26 hybrid power control unit may overheat. They didn't say it would catch fire, but it can overheat.
Get pretty warm.
Loose rear suspension fasteners in the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 9 for 25 and 26 model years. Here's a bunch more. Forward collision avoidance system may activate the brakes unexpectedly.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh my
No.
Mars, so you're doing 70 on your freeway entrance ramp test that you're well known for, and all of a sudden the brakes go. You're not going any further, and you hope and pray that nobody is behind
Yeah.
you.
Exactly.
Now, you have that. I have that feature where you back up and there's the sensor, the seat vibrates and all that if you're getting close to something or the lane
This
change.
ain't that.
No, I know. But if when I back out of my garage and it's raining, my car will actually dead stop because the rain is hitting the sensors. And it's
Doesn't wanna
scary
get
as,
wet.
It's scary as heck because you're backing up in a nice, comfortable 1 mile an hour, and all of a sudden it locks up.
Well, this forward collision avoidance system is
Same thing,
malfunctioning
yeah.
on the Hyundai Santa Cruz, Tucson Hybrid, Tucson Plug-in Hybrid, 25 and 26 model years. Wheelchair restraint retractor may not lock. Oh, look, there goes Aunt Martha right through the windshield. Ford Odyssey and Ford Terra Transit, whatever that is, and the Toyota Tundra for 2024. Debris in the engine may cause a stall.
Debris in the
Debris.
engine?
Debris. That's
Debris.
what it says. Debris in the
That's
engine.
that French stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so are you ready to run down the?
Yeah.
So Mars pointed out to me. I said it's complicated the way that we do this, but boys,
Of course.
Don't want to do simple.
to be.
No,
We
of
can't
course
do
not.
it simple.
Mars pointed out to me after I sent him the sold car roundup this week that the prices are all wrong. I'm going, well, not to my knowledge. So, and he starts quoting all this other stuff, and I'm going,
Scripture.
I can't go with all that. They're close, let me put it that way. But what I get from Hemmings is what we're going to go with today. So, First up,
So we can make up our own prices on this?
no, we can't.
All right.
This is what they sold for. So first up on the Sold Car Roundup, everybody get ready to chime in
There you
on
go.
your guess as to what the car sold for.
Oh,
This,
my
ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest,
baddest.
a 1959 Cadillac
Oh, my.
Series 75. This is as
Oh,
big
my
as they come,
God.
ladies and gentlemen. So how much do you think that this
I'm
beauty
going big.
sold for?
175.
175
I'm thinking
is
that.
what Jeff
Yeah.
says.
$175?
Yeah.
I think
Plus.
he's saying. I think he's thinking.
It's gorgeous.
It is. It looks like it is an all original, even with the wide whites, everything about it. Look at the size of those fins.
Yeah.
How much do you think that this car sold for on the Hemmings sold car?
George says 39,999, and this is pre-Dagmars.
Yeah, there's no Dagmars
There's no
on there.
Dagmars.
Yeah, but it does have a great set of fins.
Yeah,
It does.
It's got some training Dagmars.
Yeah. So I don't know whether Heitzman's with.
Yeah,
Is
here he
Heitzman with
comes.
us?
Oh, okay. The Lusk family says 33K.
33,000.
David and Stacy.
Okay. So do we wait for Mr. Heitzman?
can.
He might not even be there. He's
working
probably
on Artemis.
yeah, on the
working on
the
Artemis
Blue
3.
Origin thing that blew up this
No,
week.
that's not his.
No, that's not his, but I'm not seeing him on earlier
so
today.
what
It's okay.
so-
So the sold car price for the 59 Cadillac Series 75 was $19,950. The only problem is you're going to have to spend $40,000 on redoing the garage to get it inside there.
You gotta buy a new
it's
house.
that long,
You got to buy a new house for 175.
pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, another Cadillac. But I thought that this was an interesting because I never knew that in 1973 they made a Cadillac Calais.
Yeah.
You're familiar?
Yeah.
So where does this fit in between the sedan DeVille and the coupe DeVille?
It's
and
like
the Fleetwood?
It's like the Buick GMC version in that category, the in betweener. The Calais was sort of sporty and luxury.
That is not a sporty car.
No.
Okay,
Sporty.
73
kind of
Cadillac.
like
You
an
got,
extended cab.
Fender skirts on it, so you had a little bit classier stuff.
Okay, well, whatever. So does anybody want to guess how much this car
I'm
sold for?
gonna go 12. Look at the Lust family says 12.7. Yeah, I'm in that range, 12 to 15. I'll go 15.
Okay.
George says 21,999.
This is a George car.
Yeah.
This car
Yeah,
sold
I
for
can see George in that.
$1,700. It looks like it needs a little upholstery work, or is
Yeah.
that just a reflection down there?
No,
could
it needs some seat work. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, look at that.
Next up is the
nice.
1981 Chevy Blazer. This is the old square body Blazer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the rear roof does come off, but
Yeah.
what a you have to unbolt it if you want it off.
Well,
Yeah, but it didn't
I'll
come
let
off
you know
going
that.
down the highway. Like
no,
some of the
it
others
did not.
do.
That it did not.
Not like
So
a
an
Bronco.
81 Blazer, what do you think that sold for?
oh gosh, those things are hot.
And it's lifted.
yeah.
Got a little
And-
chrome under the hood.
I like the wood green.
I'm gonna go
paneling.
39.
39.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 39. Wowza, 59 says the Lust family. That's beautiful. I agree.
59. Okay. Anybody else? George?
14,999.
14.
For
Okay,
Mr.
so it's
Skelton.
sold for $23,625.
We all got a range.
But you know what? This has all been redone. You don't have to do anything to it. Just run it down the
Oh
road.
no,
It's
you
all-
it's just a climb up
Maintenance,
and get
yeah.
in it.
That's it. Okay, next up. This is a school teacher, Mrs. Rogers' car. This is a 1972 Volvo 1800. Remember the little sports car that they made for a very
Yeah.
short period of
Yep,
time?
yep.
That was hot.
Yep.
And so is Mrs. Rogers.
Yeah.
Golly. So what do you think that this Volvo 1800 from 1972 sold for? It looks like aftermarket wheels on there.
I'm gonna say 19,000.
19,000.
Yeah.
Jeff's in with 19.
Mrs. It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood for her.
Yeah.
she
It
was-
has it's got a manual transmission, but if you look at that engine picture, it's almost like a Wankel or rotary or
Yeah.
something. It's really
Little
small.
4-cylinder. George says 12,999, and I think I missed the Les family. They might be coming up. Here we go. 26.5 from them.
It sold for $21,000
Okay,
even.
we're all in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of
My
in the same-
brother-in-law Jerry had a Capri. He rallied a Capri. It had the same kind of wheels on that. They were very cool wheels.
All right, next up, and I had to put this in here because it's kind of surprising to me. A 2015 Porsche Cayman.
Okay.
All right. Porsche Cayman for 2015.
70.
Really?
Yeah.
A 2015. So this car is 11 years old,
Yeah.
Jeff.
It's,
All right.
it's a Cayman.
All right. It's a Cayman.
Should I go more?
What did you guess?
I said 70. Lush Family says 80.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you all are going to be surprised.
Yeah. Probably went for 12 or something.
16.8.
Ah.
My question is, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
It went
Probably
for
high
that
mileage.
little? I don't know. It looks
mileage.
clean. All
Never
right,
know.
this one here is for George. Next up, a 1932 Chevrolet Custom. Do we have that?
Yeah, he's coming up.
I'm not sure why it's not coming up.
There it is.
There you go.
A 1932 Chevrolet Custom. George. George, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend you, but I thought, well, this is a George car.
George sent, I just noticed George sent a picture of his first car, so we're going to put that up for next week.
Okay.
I'm looking at 17,000. I'm way off.
Really?
I'm thinking way off. 17.
Well, it does not have the stock engine in
No.
it. Looks like it's got a Chevy or something.
Yep.
How much?
17.
17. All right.
32 from George. David and Stacy said 5K.
Well, they win.
Yeah.
$5,320.
Wow.
So don't
Very
tell me
nice.
you can't afford to get into a hot rod.
Or you're going to spend another 60 grand tubbing it out and put an LS.
This one here is Mars Car of the Week. Next up.
It's coming up.
I
there you
love
go.
this. I'm telling you. You have your
The only
own?
problem with that is that on-ramp accelerator test that you happen to have. I'm not thinking real good thoughts there.
Do I see a Briggs and Stratton stencil on that?
Could
engine?
very well
That's
be.
the motor. I'm just. Yeah, this is your own personal clown car you can have here.
1960 Vespa 400. Wait a minute.
Wow.
Vespa. Didn't they
Yeah.
make those funky little Italian motorbikes?
Yeah.
There you go.
David and Stacy said 25. I was going to go around 4. I'll do 4.
Well, David and Stacy, I'm telling you, they got it together.
Yep. They're collectors.
18,821.
Wow.
The only problem is you have to ask yourself, can I fit in it?
Yeah, I
But
don't think.
the other thing I was thinking about, if it's got I couldn't find it in the picture, but if it's got a moon roof or a sunroof that you can open up and stick your head out the
Pop
top.
your head. You know, it does look like it, Mike. It's got something.
That
Well,
would be
yeah.
one of those that
Yeah.
that big humongous guy in all of those Bond movies with the braces teeth.
yeah.
would stick his head out of.
yeah.
All right, so that sold for 18,821. Next up is a 2005 Chrysler Crossfire. When that thing came out, that was the hottest looking
Yeah, it
little
was.
thing.
Yep.
And the problem is it had no leg room in it whatsoever. Because it was based, this is back when Chrysler was owned by Mercedes-Benz, and they took their, I don't know, whatever little car that they had at the time and rebadged it.
Vespa.
Then rebadged it with whatever it was in the Mercedes-Benz form and called it the Chrysler Crossfire.
12,000.
12,000, Jeff says. Anybody else?
That coming up. George says 12,999.
Okay.
Still talking about the clown car that we just looked at.
I think so.
All right.
All right.
The actual sold price was $9,500.
There you go.
The under hood needs a little cleanup, I would think.
So what have we learned today? Don't let me buy your car.
And also, don't buy the Vespa automobile
Yeah.
before
I'm
you
afraid
sit in it.
I would have to buy that.
Yep.
Because I can fit that in my garage. I got a little corner over I could put it in the garage.
you take
underneath
all the
the
crap
shelf.
out of the garage and then put that in and then put all the crap
All
over
the
the
in-wheel
top
time
of it.
studio stuff.
I bet it doesn't take up as much room as a golf cart.
Oh, I
Probably
bet not.
not.
Yeah,
No.
you're probably right. Okay. Hey, you're invited to join us every week for our live show, 10 to noon Central. Listen, watch on InWheelTime.com, Facebook, and YouTube. If you miss it, you can catch all the action through our podcast from your favorite podcast channel anytime. Time to take a quick break. We're back right after this. Stay with us.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Loopy Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla. Eats pretty good. Join the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show as we hit the road for a live broadcast from the 51st Annual Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run at Hewlett Park in Granbury. This once-a-year rolling car collection takes place June 12th through the 14th. Check out hundreds of classic street rods, vendors, giveaways, awards, and family fun. Best of all, spectator admission is absolutely free. In-Wheel Time will be live from Granbury Saturday, June 13th, 9 to noon. Get all the deets at lssra.com.
Okay. Hey, welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Time now for the racing calendars. I'm sorry. Mars, is it okay if we do the This Week in Auto History?
Sure.
Okay. We're gonna do you first.
You're going to do me first?
We're going to do you first. So Mr. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and we're ready when you are, Mike.
All righty. This week we found a few stories that we thought were rather interesting. And of course, the Indianapolis 500 was just finished up. Excuse me. And I found another little story about it. But actually, the very first Indianapolis 500 was on May the 30th of 1911. Now, that's the start of the most famous race in American history. Now, the winning car was a Marmon Wasp. This was a revolutionary single-seat car, had one of the earliest rear-view mirrors, and that's significant because that's another thing that came out of the racing world and became into production cars, as well as some of the other features for the engineering advancements that on this car kind of influenced cars made for the public sector for the next several centuries. So also this week was the introduction of the diesel passenger car. Now, at the Berlin Motor Show, Mercedes-Benz introduced the 260D, which is generally recognized as the first series production diesel passenger car. There were diesel engines, obviously, out in trucks and tractors and railroad gear, but this was the first one that was set up for everyday automobiles and improved the efficiency and the reliability of the diesel motor in the category. Now, it's long been held over in Europe. They've always used diesels a lot more than what we would here, but this is where it started and where it brought it into common usage. Now, in 1934, this is really interesting. I did not know this existed, but it was the birth of the Chrysler Airflow era.
Wow.
Now, they started production of this automotive design thinking that Chrysler engineers were going to use the wind tunnel testing and the Airflow, which was actually a model of a car that was produced from 1934 to 1937, and it was a unibody vehicle that I did not even know existed back then.
I like it.
So, sir?
I said I like it.
Yeah. It's got a lot of features on it, including it sits down low. It's got a waterfall type grille to it. The windshield was technology advanced because instead of it being one piece of glass that was flat, it's two pieces that come up to that V that you can see sectioned off right there. It sets a little lower. It's got the wheel well coverings that kind of come over the tires. There's a lot of things that were done because of the wind tunnel testing that they developed on this car. And it's a shame they only produced it for 3 years, but they also produced one over in the DeSoto line as well as the Chrysler line. But it just never was publicly accepted. I mean, they just couldn't sell many of them. I think it was only like about 7,000 was actually, they ended up selling it across 3 years. And they pulled it from production. But it was another one of those things.
Ahead of its time.
Yes. In 1986, Henry Ford's quadricycle hits the road. Now, this was the
Wait a
first
minute. You just said 1986?
1896.
Excuse me, 1896.
Yeah, there you go. 1896. Okay.
Yeah, let me turn my glasses around.
Okay.
So this was in Detroit, And this was a four-wheel vehicle powered by a small gasoline engine. Now, this is Ford's earliest practical automobile, and this is what he started off building the whole Ford Motor Company from. It's absolutely very primitive, but if you think about it, some of the things that as kids that we tried to build little go-karts, our own little motorized powers, it was basically that, four wheels and a motor with some sort of steering. Then 1928, Chrysler purchases the Dodge Brothers. Now, the interesting thing about this is the Dodge Brothers were originally parts suppliers to all of the manufacturers at the time,
right.
including
Yep.
Ford. So in 1914, they decided to start building their own automobiles. And so through that production, and then it came up in 1928 after both brothers had died for, one of them was under the Spanish flu and the other one, they're not really sure, but they think it was related to that. So the family then ended up selling it, and Chrysler ended up buying it through a couple of other transactions. And what it did, it gave Chrysler, expanded their production ability to bring things in and make Chrysler, that started Chrysler into becoming one of the big three of Detroit. And that's the things that I found that were interesting. Some of them I didn't even know existed in automobile history.
I saw the Marmon Wasp. It's in the Indianapolis Museum at the Indianapolis Speedway. And I got to see, and I think you did too, Mike, that Chrysler Airflow. That was in the Chrysler Museum there in Auburn Hills when we went to visit.
That's very cool.
Yeah, those cars are around, but you have to seek them out. You just, they don't show up at a cruise-in or something anymore.
No, they're very special cars, and they treat them that way, fortunately.
All right, time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Thank you for that. Now, going on the Indy theme, dovetailing on that, you got Indy going on tomorrow. I watched a little bit of the NXT series this morning. They're practicing and qualifying today. They're going to qualify for the Detroit Grand Prix. It's going to be awesome. Detroit used to run it on Belle Isle. Now they went onto the mainland around the streets of Detroit. It's going to be fantastic. 11:30 tomorrow morning on Fox Local. I want everybody to tune in for that. It's going to be great. NHRA is going on. They are at the Potomac Nationals in Maryland International Raceway. It's going on this weekend. I don't know any qualifying aspects or anything, so you have to tune in and watch that. Formula One is in actually not going to be to June 7th, so they're another week out in Monaco. NASCAR. Let's talk a little bit about NASCAR. Just going to give you some stats here. Move on. They're going to Nashville, all three series. They kind of paraded Kyle Busch's wife out there, and it was kind of embarrassing, I think, for NASCAR. So shame on you, NASCAR. And that's it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
For America's 250th birthday, Chevy gave itself the honor of blowing out the candles. GM set up an 188-foot-long birthday cake topped with 250 oversized candles at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Then used a 1,250-horsepower Corvette ZR1X to extinguish the flames at 90 miles an hour. We're going to wrap up today's In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show right after this quick break.
Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your save-the-paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get it protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today and online at gcautoshield.com. Gift giving should be meaningful, and we have an idea. A hand-painted custom illustration of your car from one of the nation's leading artists. Now you can get one or a car show poster customized for you, a friend, or a loved one. Bill Seitz will be happy to guide you through the process. No matter what the day, birthday, anniversary, or any day, an Autographics custom illustration adds an extra touch of class to any home. Call Bill today, 832-922-0963. That's 832-922-0963.
Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check us out online at inwheeltime.com. We're always looking for new, informative, and great automotive things to bring to our global audience. If you have an idea, an event, a road trip, or tall tale you'd like to tell us, let us know. The email address is info@inwheeltime.com. You can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the In Wheel Time app and the website. Grab a podcast from your favorite podcast store. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon, on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time video coordinator is we always need more Jeff Zekin. For booking agent, video editor, Mike Out of This World Mars.
There you go.
Chief engineer, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks to our show contributors, Jeff Heitzman and George Skelton.
And the Lust family.
And the Lust family. Thank you very much, yes, for joining us. And for you, be sure and join us next week for our 51st annual, it's in 2 weeks actually.
2 weeks.
51st annual
2 weeks.
Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run and Show, June 13th from Hewlett Park in Granbury. In Real Time, we'll have a bonus hour show so you can grab us beginning at 9 to noon on the 13th. Hope you'll join us again next week. Have a great, safe weekend. So long for now.